Hi guys, this is EyeJax here, and today I will be doing a Q&A from my own living room. I haven't been in the studio for a while due to the COVID crisis worldwide. And as you can see, I have the COVID hairdo. Papimento, you saw in the last episode, has the COVID beard. So that's pretty cool. I will be doing some Q&A today. I got a few questions to answer, so let's get started. And it's good to see you all again. So the first question that I got is, who would be your ideal center backs within the current squad and why? It's a very good question. It's a difficult position that has to be filled within the squad, especially for the coming season. For me, it would be Daley Blind on the left position. He's the player that can do the build-up. He's creative. He can give passes. So that's something that is necessary with a build-up play like Ajax. But next to him, he has somebody who has to have some presence, who can head well, has a little bit of height. And I think within the current squad, the only person that has that ability for the future is Perr Schuurs. So in an ideal world where Perr Schuurs is up to par with his level, it would be on the left side Daley Blind, and the right center back for me would be Perr Schuurs. And I think that would be an awesome duo, because you have the quality of passing on the left side and you have the strength and the physics on the right side. So it's a good combination in my opinion. On to the second question. This question is, taking into account that some key players will leave, which position would you strengthen first? That's difficult. A lot of players are leaving Ajax, as you know. Ziyech is definitely gone. Van de Beek is in the picture to leave. Onana is in the picture to leave. Also, Tagliafico has been mentioned many times, as is Dest. Even Mazraoui was mentioned lately to maybe get a transfer. So this is a difficult question to answer, because you would have to strengthen more than one area, in my opinion. First of all, I think you need a creative midfielder. Ziyech is the one that is definitely going to Chelsea, and if Van de Beek also leaves, it leaves a gap on the midfield creativity-wise. So for me, one of the main positions that needs to be strengthened is the attacking midfielder position. Also, I think the left back position, we do not have backup there. So even if Tagliafico stays, we need somebody who can fill that position. When Daley left Ajax for Leverkusen, that was the only left back we had besides Tagliafico. So for me, left back position is very important. Attacking midfielder position is very important. And maybe a goalkeeper, depending on if Onana leaves or not. But I think even if he doesn't leave Ajax at the moment, I think you should really search for a suitable substitute for him, so that they can cope with the Ajax system for a season. And if Onana leaves next season, so not this one but the one after, that you already have somebody within your squad that can fill the gap. It will be a hard shoes to fill, because Onana is terrific, but those three positions need strengthening in my opinion. So first of all, attacking midfielder. Second, the left back, and maybe also search for the goalkeeper. We can also maybe use a striker, but I do have faith in the ability of the young striker of the second squad. I can't remember his name at the moment. Traoré is his name. So I think he will do well the coming season. He already showed some quality last season, and I think he has the ability to be a terrific Ajax striker. So those are my suggestions for Mark Overmars. On to the third question. The third question is, what do you think of Antony? That's the new Brazilian signing we have at Ajax. And which position do you think he will play at Ajax? To be very honest, I only saw some YouTube videos of him, because I do not watch a lot of Brazilian club football. For me, he's a winger. I think that is his favorite position also, left winger or maybe right winger. I've heard that he could also play maybe in the center of the midfield, so maybe attacking midfielder. For me, he will be a contender for one of the winger positions, because we saw Tadic play on the right winger a lot this season. This is not his position, in my opinion. So I'd rather see him at the striker position or at the left. So since Ziyech is gone, there will be some room on the wingers because Babel is also gone, I think. So it would be very nice to see him play with Neres on both flanks. So probably Neres on the right side or the left side, or Antony on the right side or the left side. But I think that will create a lot of creativity, a little bit of Brazilian samba. So that is very cool. My suggestion is put him on the winger, and also because he needs to get familiar with the Ajax system, and the attacking midfielder position is a little bit harder, I think, to cope with than the winger position when you're first arrive at Ajax. So for me, he's most suitable at the winger as far as I can judge now. So I hope this answers your question. On to the fourth question. News site reports that Ajax is asking 25 million for Tagliafico. Do you believe that is a fair price for such a player? This is a very good question. First of all, I think Tagliafico is a terrific player and he is suitable for a lot of competitions, especially if you play him in a squad that has a lot of football in it. So squads like Barcelona, for example, Liverpool. I do think the Spanish competition is more suitable for him. It's less physical. Onto your question, 25 million, is this a fair price for him? I would say it's rather low. But I cannot tell how this COVID situation influences the prices that players are worth, and that the clubs will actually pay for them, because a lot of clubs have to cope with this and lose a lot of money the last months or maybe the coming months, because you cannot play, for example, in Germany, they cannot play with the public yet, no supporters in the stands. So they miss a lot of income, and in other countries we are not even playing yet, as in Holland. So to answer your question, 25 million in the past would have been a great amount of money, but for now I would say it's rather low, even with COVID taken into consideration. I would think that I would at least expect 35 million for him. Especially if he goes to a club like Barcelona or another big club, they still have a lot of money in the bank, and I think Ajax should not be influenced by the COVID situation, because they can get this for him. I think he's a terrific player, and for less than 35 million at the moment, I think that will be a bad deal. But this is my opinion. I'm curious what all the other viewers think, so leave a comment and tell me if I'm wrong, or if you think 25 million is still too low. I would be happy to hear what your opinions are. So, on to the last question. If you are Ten Hag's advisor, what are the key points you can take from previous years, and what would you advise him to change? This is a very good and interesting question. If you saw a lot of our episodes this season, you saw also that we criticized him a lot. Mainly because in the season that he did very well with Ajax, when we reached the semi-finals and this nightmare game against the Spurs, we went out. That season he didn't actually need a plan B, because his plan A was so good, it worked each time, and it sufficed. But this season you saw a lot of matches that didn't go too well, and he wasn't able to switch it around. If you, for example, I've mentioned it in a few episodes before the COVID, if you take into account Ronald Koeman, the Dutch national squad coach, he had a lot of bad games with Holland, and he was able to switch it around at the break, make some tactical changes, and switch the whole game around. That is something that I didn't see Ten Hag do this season. Also, he ended a lot of games with like 2 or 3 substitutes unused, and this is for me at a squad like Ajax, it's not acceptable. We are a squad that, and I have a philosophy that we implement youth players, and we need to have certain players get some minutes during the season. So if somebody gets injured, then we have a suitable substitute for him that is already accustomed to the system, that already got some minutes in, and that can be a stand-in at the moment that is necessary. This season we saw we got a lot of injuries, especially for the winter break, and he didn't give a lot of minutes to the youngsters before that, because you saw that at the moment that they need to be there after the injuries, they couldn't deliver properly what was expected from them. There were some youngsters that did some nice stuff, but it was not consistent. This is something I would advise Ten Hag to do, like switch it up a little bit more, train more for certain plans. So if plan A doesn't suffice, have a plan B ready, have a plan C ready. implement more youth players in the games. So give them more minutes so that they can get accustomed to the team and to the tactics and squad. And also don't end games with substitutes unused, especially if you have a lot of games that you are 2-0 up. That is the ideal situation, especially in the Eredivisie, to give some youngsters some chances and some minutes. So this is my main tip for Ten Hag, and I think this is something that he can improve in hopefully the next season. So let's hope he can build on this, and thank you for all your questions. If you have some other questions for me or for the other panel members, be free to drop a comment and leave some questions for the next person that has to do a video. I hope to see you all soon from the studio again. I miss my fellow panel members. I miss Juan also. So I hope this COVID situation ends soon. And for now, I wish you a good day and talk to you all later. Bye.